Hello, everyone. We will be starting this ceremony shortly in just a few minutes. Now is a great time to reach into your pocket, grab your cell phone, make sure that it's off, and like I said, we'll get started in just a few minutes.
And the swagger of a college kid. Allergic to the counterfeit, impartial to the politics, articulate, but still a grabber by the collar quick. Whoever having problems with their record sales, just holler till. If that don't work and all else fails, then turn around and follow till. I got love for the game, but hey, I'm not in love with all of it. Could do without the fame, and rappers nowadays are comedy. The hooting and the hollering, back and forth with the arguing. Where you from, who you know, what you making, what kind of car you in. Seems as though you lost sight of what's important when depositing them checks into your bank account and you up out of poverty. Your values is in disarray, prioritizing horribly. Unhappy with the riches cause you're piss poor morally. Ignoring all prior advice and forewarning, and we mighty full of ourselves all of a sudden, aren't we?
Good morning. We're going to wait a few minutes as our graduates walk across the stage. Go ahead and let them know how proud of them you are. All right, graduates, you may be seated. This cohort has a special personality, and I think I know where they got it from. Good morning and welcome to the class of 2022 pinning ceremony. I'd like to start with a special welcome to the parents, spouses, partners, family members, and mentors, some of who are here while others are watching the ceremony remotely. We want to acknowledge the important role that you have played in supporting our graduates. They have had a long and hard journey. And we also had some extra there, too. Along their journey, you have been with them the entire way. Graduates, will you please show your appreciation for your guests with a round of applause? Thank you. Next, we'd like to welcome and thank your faculty, staff, and administrators for their commitment to the nursing program here at Penn State Harrisburg. Faculty, will you please rise? This time of celebration would not be possible without the support of our Chair of Penn State Harrisburg's Board of Advisors, Mr. Bill Wyke, and our Chancellor, Dr. Mason, the Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Administration, Dr. Ansary, the Director of School of Behavioral Sciences and Education, Dr. Kaselica, the Chair of Health and Professional Studies, Dr. Liquis, and our Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Nursing Education at the Commonwealth campuses. So would you please also give a round of applause to our administrators. And I would like to personally thank them all for all their commitment and support of our program. Lastly, a very special welcome and thank you to our donors, whose continued support of our graduates and the second-degree nursing program here at Penn State Harrisburg is greatly appreciated. Again, some of who are here, others who are watching remotely. Can we also thank our donors? And now, in appreciation of our graduates, we are honored to pay tribute to your hard work and sacrifice. Your success came at an especially challenging time as you traversed your education during a global pandemic. You have chosen a life of nursing, a highly respected and very challenging profession, one that brings daily trials in caring for people who need your compassion and your support, your patience and your encouragement, and above all, someone to advocate for them. Your faculty and I are so very proud of you. So I would like to introduce to you the class of 2022 student speaker, Annie Collette.
Good morning, friends, families, professors, faculty, and of course, the Penn State Ross and Carol Neese College of Nursing class of 2022. I first want to thank each one of you for taking the time to be here today to celebrate this amazing cohort as we take this long-awaited and anticipated step to transition to practice. It has meant the world to us to have had your love, support, and sanity over these last 16 months. I think I can speak for the entire cohort when I say without you, nursing school would have been next to impossible. So thank you for all that you've done for us. If I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, my name is Annie Collette, and I'm honored and privileged to be speaking on behalf of my cohort today. Throughout the last 16 months, this cohort has been through it all and has proved time and time again our ability to demonstrate a great sense of community, teamwork, passion, and resilience. To better exemplify my cohort's experiences throughout each semester, let's break it down by using one of nursing school's favorite acronyms, ADPI. As I say this, I know I'm getting a lot of rolling eyes, but guys, promise, stick with me. For those of you who do not know, ADPI is one of the many nursing acronyms that we learned and is now forever ingrained in our brains. It stands for Assessment, Diagnosis, Planning, Implementation, and Evaluation. While this acronym is usually used for nurses to properly manage and treat patients, I think it is an appropriate comparison to our experiences and journey throughout each semester in nursing school. So let's begin. Step 1, assessment. When we all walked into pathophysiology on August 23rd, 2021 at 8:30 a.m., the assessing of this cohort began. We all came in nervous, excited, timid, and let's be honest, a little bit sweaty because that room was always hot. I came to class approximately 10 minutes early, a sufficient amount of time, or so I thought. I opened the classroom door and every seat was already taken. What time did these other students get here? I said to myself. It was at that moment that I knew that these nursing students were a different type of breed. This was not an entirely wrong initial assessment because throughout the first semester, it was apparent that this cohort was extremely intelligent, focused, and were willing to do about anything to get an extra point on an exam. Friendships quickly developed from the awkward, "Hi, I'm Annie, can I sit here?" into the frantic, "Wait, we have another test tomorrow? What is it on? Can you send me your notes?" These relationships grew fast and strong and were the backbone of making it through this difficult first semester and the rest of the program. After enduring the difficulties of the first semester, I believe most students went into winter break with the constant thought of, so how am I gonna make it through this next year? Spoiler alert, you did it. Now on to step 2, diagnosis. If we were to come up with a nursing diagnosis for the spring semester, it would go something like this. Risk of mental breakdowns related to several projects, exams, and clinical hours, as evidenced by students begging professors to change due dates and change exams to become take-home tests. While this diagnosis may seem dramatic, I cannot say it is too far from the truth. The spring semester was really when this cohort got into the thick of the program with more classwork and, of course, more clinical time. It was in this semester where we grew our confidence in being nursing students. For example, we were no longer afraid to go find the nurse we were actually assigned to in the hospital. And also, we were shameless in going to patients' rooms to practice head-to-toe assessments. However, were we still sweating through our latex gloves as we were handling medications? Absolutely. But we were making significant progress, and that feeling alone got us through the spring semester. Step 3, planning and implementation. By the summer, we were fully pushing to get through this last academic-heavy semester. Despite trading family vacations for watching YouTube videos on how ventilators work, we solidified our skills in the hospital and had the opportunity to experience several different specialties. As a cohort, we stuck to the accelerated nursing program plan, which consisted of studying every day, eating prepackaged snacks and Trader Joe's frozen meals, saying no to any and all social plans, and just putting our heads down and grinding through the endless summer days. This plan was successfully implemented, and we all felt it the moment we handed in our last final in August. Smiles were big, the relief was felt, and in that moment, we realized that this crazy plan of completing nursing school in 16 months was somehow gonna work. And finally, step 4, the evaluation. The final semester arrived, and it truly felt like the biggest evaluation of nursing school. Different thoughts were occurring, such as, did I learn enough? Will I be okay in the hospital without my clinical instructor? Am I gonna be a good nurse? Wait, when's lunch? While this semester had fewer exams, it was arguably the biggest test to see if we could bring all the skills and knowledge to fruition. Students were immediately thrown into different units, such as the ICU, med-surg, psych, ED, pediatrics, NICU, and labor and delivery units. As no shock to anyone, this amazing Penn State nursing cohort adapted, worked hard, learned a lot, received job offers, and shared countless wild stories along the way. This evaluation may have seemed daunting at first, but due to this cohort's persistence and work ethic, students flourished in the hospital setting, wearing the Penn State name proudly. As we each exited our final clinical hour, a sensation of accomplishment rushed over us because we finally did it, and it is now our time to become real nurses. So, as we sit here today with no more steps to accomplish or acronyms to memorize for now, I want my incredible classmates to take a deep breath, look around, and embrace this moment. We just completed an extremely difficult 16 months worth of work, and we are now going to set forth into the world to make a huge difference in people's lives as qualified, empathetic, hardworking nurses. While many of us may be moving away, I know we will each look back on this program in astonishment, constantly asking ourselves, now how did we get through that? I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors and cannot wait to see where your nursing careers take you. One thing I know for certain is that hospitals and graduate programs better watch out because these Penn State nurses are ready to make meaningful changes. Thank you for coming today, and let's give a big congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Ms. Collette. All right, as our pinners make their way to the front of the auditorium, I would like to share with you the history of nursing pinning. The pinning ceremony is a symbol of achievement in completing the educational requirements for becoming a registered nurse. It marks a transition into professional nursing. This time-honored tradition is different from a formal college or university graduation. The pinning ceremony is a unique event to honor the student's hard work and clinical experience in nursing. The nursing pin is a 1,000-year-old symbol of service to others. This trend of honoring the sick and ailing continued and resurfaced again during the Crimean War of the 1860s, when our dear Florence Nightingale set the gold standard in nursing. Her selfless service in attending to the injured people in the war was highly praised and recognized when she was bestowed with the Red Cross of St. George as a mark of supreme honor. Nightingale felt the need to appreciate the service, the sacrifice, and the dedication of nurses at large instead of just picking a few for accolades. She presented a Medal of Excellence to the hardworking nursing graduates that not only recognized their contribution, but also to motivate them. Florence Nightingale is known as the founder of modern nursing, and her fostering excellence in nursing, not only at the bedside, but also through her research. In 1916, the pinning ceremony became standard practice for new graduates in the United States, and also a way of welcoming them into the nursing profession. All students who successfully complete their nursing education are presented with a unique pin that represents where they completed their nursing education. Each graduate has chosen someone who they consider to have played an important role in their nursing journey to pin them. This person is a nurse in honor of our nursing traditions. So at this time, we will present the school pin. Just to give you a little background, so you're prepared with your cameras, the students will rise, so will the first row please rise, and as their name is called, they will go to the X that's marked on the stage. They will face their pinner, and the pinner will put the pin on them or their lapel. At that point in time, they will then face the audience, so you have a nice opportunity for a picture, and then they will return to their seat. So that is what we will be doing next. This is what they've been waiting for. You ready? All right, to start, Tassine Al-Zubaydi will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley. As you can see, we might be able to teach patho, assessment, and all those important things, but pinning. Jordan Anthony will be pinned by Betsy Cobb. Christopher Atkins will be pinned by Mariah Swisher. Laura Averett will be pinned by Dr. Nieves. Or Lindsay Colleen Brenneman will be pinned by Sage Burkhold Boger. Mariella Canada Sosa will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley. Catherine Chapman will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Annie Collette will be pinned by Dr. Albert in honor of Virginia O'Brien and Mary Ann Tregesser. Try not to screw it up. Mackenzie DeLauder will be pinned by Shannon Ford in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Shannon is clearly a pro at pinning. Helsis Estevez Chico will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Abigail Fisher will be pinned by Mary Fisher. Bailey Fritsch will be pinned by Casey Fritsch. Sarah Fullwood will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Michael Ganty Jr. will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Yadira Garriga Pavone will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley. Skylar Nicole Gagan will be pinned by Joanne Message. Devin Joanne Godick will be pinned by Joanne Massage in the absence of Jordan Latos. Felipe Gonzalez Vasquez will be pinned by Mrs. Cunningham. Arthur John Hasted Jr. will be pinned by Anna Lafreda. Madison Hayes will be pinned by Patty Mansberger. Madison High will be pinned by Dr. Nieves. Jonathan Haranek will be pinned by Erica Mann. Jessica Rhea will be pinned by Courtney Haynes. Nayat Hurtado Christia will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley. Lady Jimenez Arguden will be pinned by Mrs. Woodley. Jessica Jones will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Lauren Kelly will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Brooke King will be pinned by Kachiri Schaefer. Blame it on the pin. Haley Clausen will be pinned by Vicki Cunningham. Jamie Crakey will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Jared Cronix will be pinned by Mrs. Cunningham. Eleftheria Nicoletta Lemnatos will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Now give it up. Emil Lukusu will be pinned by Bello Mwanza. Lynn Malinak will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Taylor Massage will be pinned by Joanne Massage. Yvonne Bougois will be pinned by she will be pinned by Dr. Nieves. Victoria Pardo will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Ashlyn Hess. Jenna Lane Phillips will be pinned by Lori LaFavor. It's all good. Alice Cheen will be pinned by Mrs. Cunningham. Mrs. Cunningham's quite the pro. We're all going to have to take lessons from her. Anissa Ramos will be pinned by Dr. Nieves. Okay. Andrew Regal will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Vincent Riello will be pinned by Julie McKelvey. Hazel Rubenkamp will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Tasha Harbaugh. David Sipes will be pinned by Dr. Albert. Anna Steer will be pinned by Madeline Reichard. Amber Stevens will be pinned by Mrs. Cunningham. Lindsay Thomas will be pinned by Dr. Albert in the absence of Mr. Zepeda. Natalie Vayonis will be pinned by Courtney Haynes. Carla Christine Verkow will be pinned by Charlotte Krimsky. Kyle Weaver will be pinned by Miss Nevins. Alicia Wright will be pinned by Jamie White. Our next graduate is a +1, Corinne Zarazua Gradine. She will be pinned by Mrs. Cunningham. Graduates, will you all rise and pull out your program? Audience, you can follow along on the back of your program as the graduates will recite the nursing pledge. Y'all ready? Here we go. In full knowledge of the obligations I am undertaking, I promise to care for the sick with all the skills and understanding I possess, without regard to race, creed, color, politics, or social status, sparing no effort to conserve life, to alleviate suffering, and to promote health. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care, holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me, and refraining from any action that might endanger life or health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skill the highest level, and to give loyal support and cooperation to all members of the health team. I will do my utmost to honor the International Code of Nursing Ethics and to uphold the integrity of the professional nurse. Can everyone give them a round of applause? Next on the agenda is the SNAP Resiliency Award. The purpose of the SNAP Resiliency Award is based on the following narrative. Over the past 16 months, this cohort has experienced immense challenges and setbacks, and still, here they are, ready to transition to practice. As they explore both the science and art of nursing, they became a team, learning deeply about themselves, their passion, and what makes each of them unique along the way. As they look back on their time together, there was one trait that these students continually embodied, and that was resilience. Resilience is the ability to survive and thrive in the face of adversity. It's the way one adapts in the face of stressors to pursue one's goals. This year's SNAP board and faculty have seen this resiliency demonstrated by every student within this cohort. They asked their peers to speak to this trait and their experiences using the following prompt. Describe how you demonstrated resiliency during the past 16 months. How do you feel your experiences facing adversity have prepared you to transition to practice? A winner of the Resiliency Award was then chosen based on the submitted essays, and they will receive a $500 award from SNAP. I would like to share with you just a small snapshot of the adversity that this one student in particular faced during the last 16 months that helped prepare him for practice. I found out my mom made the decision to go into hospice in August of last year, a few days before our program started. The woman I thought I was going to marry when I was a little boy was now dying from a disease that she had no control over. She was the mother of 7 kids and held a full-time job until her body became too weak for her to work. She eventually declined over the fall semester. While there were many uncertainties during that time, one thing remained constant: the unwavering support from my professors here and from the members of my cohort. My mom peacefully passed away a week after our first semester of finals. We would have celebrated her 60th birthday last month. I miss her, and I know she is proud of the major milestone being celebrated today. The winner of the SNAP Resiliency Award is Vincent Riello. I think the little one in the front row and I were both feeling the same way. So as we prepare to close this ceremony, I would like to thank all of you for coming out today to show your support of these graduates. The graduates will meet you after the ceremony in the lobby. As the graduates rise and begin to exit the stage, would you please give them one more round of applause? Thank you all for coming.